Tonight, Minority Leader questions what government is doing to preserve the values of Ghana in the face of the raging debate over the anti-gay bill, as he disagrees with his majority colleague that the bill may fail constitutional scrutiny.
Question to ask is, what was the executive doing and what is the executive doing? They ought to have engaged proactively on this matter in order to protect the sacredness and sanctity of our moral and cultural values as a people.
We are live in Kaswa, where the police have arrested a gay couple after one allegedly inflicted catalogs wounds on his partner for allegedly cheating.
This is Top Story with Evans Mensah.
And Top Story is always brought to you by Vodafone. Together we can. So yesterday, we heard from the majority leader, Mensah, articulating his support in principle for the anti-gay bill, but warning that the bill risks suffering a premature death unless proponents surrender it to the Attorney General. He had argued that the bill imposes cost on the consolidated fund and can therefore not be a private member's bill as it currently is. Well, today, the minority leader, Harun Edrisu, has gone public, expressing strong disagreement with the majority leader. He has been questioning what government had done since the debate over the bill emerged to protect the values of Ghana. We'll hear from him shortly, but first, this was Mr. Bungsu's argument last night on PM Express.
The language of the Constitution is clear. And if I may, Article 108 provides that Parliament shall not, the operative word is shall, we shall not, unless the bill is introduced or the motion is introduced by, on behalf of the President, the imposition of a charge on the consolidated fund or other public funds of Ghana, or the alteration of any such charge otherwise by reduction. Is the implementation going to have an impact on this? Without doubt.
You've said that because you haven't thoroughly reviewed the bill.
Yes.
Could it be that your position at this point is defective because of that admission?
I have not read it, but I'm saying to you that I don't see any major bill in this country that we have.
So this is major for you?
It's a major bill. I don't see any major bill that does not come with financial implications. I don't see it. But so, what do we want to achieve? We want to achieve our goal of enacting a legislation which will uphold the cultural values of our people.
True.
If that is the purpose, and government should take it over as was done in the case of the Children's Act, what would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with that?
It comes down to whether government has the will to do this.
Well, I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm not sure. The president himself has spoken eloquently to this.
Not under his watch, absolutely.
Yes. So what would anybody say about that? The president has said so. When the bills that we pass would come from the Smith House of the Attorney General, right? The Attorney General and, in fact, the Minister for Justice is a servant of the president. So if the president calls him to say that, can you have this, considered? The Attorney General, I believe, the Minister for Justice will not turn his back.
So that is Honorable Chairman Sabunsu. He is the majority leader expressing these issues yesterday on PM Express. Well, today, the minority leader is also now articulating the position of his side. He says they are, without reservation, not in principle, fully in support of the bill, and they want it passed. And he disagrees with the majority leader when he expresses his opinion on that constitutional provision that he believes imposes cost on the consolidated fund and therefore cannot be a private member's bill as it currently stands. Well, Harun Edrisu says that can be the case, an interpretation of the Constitution, and questions what the executive had done in protecting the Ghanaian values in the wake of the debates surrounding the bill. Listen to Harun Edrisu speaking to my colleague, Mensah.
Absolutely. We stand opposed to LGBTQI plus rights in Ghana, it is a moral imperative that the Parliament of Ghana stands together in fighting the introduction of those rights, as it will erode the respectability of our societal moral fabrics, our cultural values, and more importantly, to encourage the courageous members of Parliament led by Sam George and his colleagues, and to all those who share that value. It will be a watershed decision for the Parliament of Ghana. Don't forget that Parliament doesn't represent itself. We represent the electorate, and we have a standard of care and a standard duty to reflect the aspirations of the Ghanaian people. Can you imagine tomorrow those activists seeking the promotion of LGBTQI rights asking for restrooms, men in women's restrooms and women in males' restrooms? Can you imagine what that will mean for our society? And I think that it's important that we appreciate that in the process of lawmaking, inputs can be solicited and inputs can be sent to the committee appropriately dealing with this subject matter, and those inputs will guide final decisions on this matter. It is not a question of whether it is being promoted as a private member's bill or it ought to have been promoted by the executive. In any case, the question to ask is, what was the executive doing and what is the executive doing? They ought to have engaged proactively on this matter in order to protect the sacredness and sanctity of our moral and cultural values as a people.
And that's a direct response to the majority leader.
An anti-LGBTQI remains a moral imperative and watershed decision for the Parliament of Ghana. And nowhere in the world are rights absolute. Rights are always limited. That is why in many portions of the Constitution, you put the words subject to this Constitution.
But let's talk about the threat on the members who are supposed to be providing support for this particular bill. Give us the level of seriousness of this particular threat from the diplomatic missions.
We will survive the threat. We will stand strong and firm to preserve and protect the moral values and fabric of our society. We would need to preserve our time-tested values as a people. I'm surprised that we are igniting debate in the name of rights. It is to stretch it to absurdity. No rights are absolute anywhere in the world. The enjoyment of freedoms and rights are subject to some limitations, and limitations of culture and moral values and factors are as important. I just gave you the example.
Yeah.
If you tolerate and accept this, tomorrow they will ask for restrooms, and you have men in women's bathrooms and women in male bathrooms.
Okay.
Suddenly not Ghanaian.
Well,
and therefore, the Parliament of Ghana must reflect the strong aspirations of the Ghanaian people.
Well noted, but there are concerns also that has been raised, for instance, by the majority leader, implications of Article 108 of the Constitution and the bill, and whether it raises issues of financial burden on the state.
Are you worried about the togetherness of our country, or you are worried about financial implications? In any case, any burden is borne by the taxpayer, and the Ghanaian taxpayer are those who are articulating strongly those anti-LGBTQI+. And therefore, I've heard the argument as to Article 108, whether the bill is initiated by a private member or is initiated by the executive. It is before a committee of parliament. And as we work together, both parliament and the executive.
And this issue about how it was even referred to the committee, Mr. Haruna Idris, if you can hear me, has been raised also by the majority leader. He's described the speaker as being biased in this particular bill.
Speaker Alban Bagbin is first a citizen of Ghana and more importantly, a respected speaker, the number 3 of our republic. And therefore, he's free to share his views on any national matter. That does not amount to a decision for the Parliament of Ghana.
Well, Parliament is returning on the 26th, and for more indications, this is one of those key issues that obviously will become front and center once it returns. And you've heard him there raise the issues surrounding the members of Parliament, and the suggestion is that some of them may have been threatened by members of the diplomatic community in foreign countries or with representation in Ghana. We're already hearing from the minority side with firm warnings that they would retaliate, demonstrate until the Ghana also takes firm stance, if indeed the foreign representation in Ghana of these missions deny minority members or members of parliament generally an opportunity of visas to travel to their countries because of their support for the bill, which is currently before Parliament. We'll bring you what the minority chief whip has been saying about this pretty shortly. However, in the last couple of hours, we're picking up reports, in fact confirmed now, that 2 gay couples, as this debate continues to rage, have been arrested by the Kaswa New Market Police after, a gay couple have been arrested by the Kaswa New Market Police after one inflicted cutlass wounds on his partner. He suspected this partner of cheating. The suspects are Prince Nyato, 22, and Evans, 23. Evans Amwa, 23 years. The police tell us that the two were working in a restaurant, and one of them suspected that the other had a girlfriend. Well, my colleague with Adom News, he's been following up on this for me, and he sent this report earlier. Kofi report.
According to information, both of them are working in the same restaurant, name it held at Kaswa New Market, for about 2 weeks now. But Evans has been in the restaurant for about 6 months to a year now. So through Facebook, he get in touch with Prince, who is also a gay partner. So they started talking through Facebook. So Evans invited Prince to his place and told his master that he has a friend who wanted to join, or he also wanted to work in the same restaurant. So the owner of the shop recruited him, and both of them are working in the same restaurant. So according to the owner of the restaurant, they've been working. Prince came there about 2 weeks now, so they've been working together, and immediately he came because they know themselves on Facebook, and they started having sex with each other. So, and according to information, Prince also has a girlfriend. So Evans became angry, like, why is it that you are having another girlfriend? So Prince decided not to allow Evans to have sex with him again, and Evans became angry and went to the kitchen and took a knife and stabbed. We inflicted cutlass wounds on Prince's right hand, and when the owner of the shop came, he went to Kaswa New Market Police Station and reported the matter. And initially, the owner of the shop doesn't know that both of them are gay. So when they went to police station during interrogation, and Prince said that they are gay and they have been having sex with each other for some time now, and he decided not to allow Evans to have sex with him again, and in the process, he stabbed him.
All right, well, have the police been able to prefer any charges against them yet?
So as I'm speaking to you now, Kaswa New Market Police station officer. They are writing their statement, and after that, they proceeded. They will send them to Kasua District Police Command or Divisional Police Command, because Newmarket is under Kasua District Police Command, as usual. Central is Regional Police Command, and according to information gathered, indicates that Prince started this act during school. According to him, his class teacher, when he was in SHS, his teacher started having sex with him, and I said, like, the teacher is also a gay, so he has knowledge about those kind of things. So when he came, it's a normal to them, and Evans Amuakon is also known to that act, and that is where the truth came out. So as I'm speaking to you now, both of them are in Kasua Newmarket police station. They are in police custody and assisting investigation.
And indeed, from the videos that our reporter had sent, one of them is seen with the cutlass wounds bandaged on his left wrist, and in the police station. This is a story we're following for you this evening on the back of all this debate surrounding this bill before Parliament. We've had both sides now of Parliament expressing various views on this matter, and tonight we're hearing from the Presbyterian Church too. They've had a pretty interesting recent history on this subject, because we know that in 2015 there was some tension between the Ghanaian branch of the Presbyterian Church and their U.S. counterparts, because the U.S. counterparts became very receptive to and recognized gay marriages. And that led to the severing of relationship between the Ghanaian branch of the Presbyterian Church and their U.S. counterparts. That has been mentioned again in the recent conversations, and I'm delighted to say that Reverend George Labi speaks for the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, joins us on the telephone line right now. Reverend Labi, thank you for your time here on Top Story.
Good evening, Evans, and good evening to your cherished listeners. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It has been mentioned recently that because of that tense relationship we had with your U.S. Counterparts over this gay issue, because of their liberal stance on the matter, and you being obviously insisting that this cannot be tolerated, that you've been pretty quiet on this. The chairman of the Constitutional Legal Affairs Committee had raised this very recently. Where does the church stand now that there's a firm bill before Parliament?
Yeah, thank you, Ivan, for this great opportunity for us to make our stand clear and known to the general public. You see, Presbyterian Church of Ghana, way back in 2011, severed relationship with the Presbyterian Church in PC, USA, when they voted majority for the acceptance of same-sex marriage, and also change the marriage order, which says marriage is between a man and a woman, and then they change it to be a marriage between two people. And again, they also voted to accept the ordination of homosexuals as pastors of the church. And to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, we say, no, this is completely contrary to the biblical values. So in 2011, at the General Assembly of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana at Abetifi Kwau, the church says no. Then let's sever relationship with any church or any para organization that accepts the ordination or same-sex marriage. So that is the history. But let me say that the Presbyterian Church of Ghana, being the oldest and continuously existing Christian denomination in Ghana, if we didn't fit to support the draft bill, that is promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian family values bill before Parliament now, we support it, and we will do everything to support it and ensure that the bill is passed, brother. And so let me say that is our position. And one will ask, what is our basis for the support of the bill? Even our basis are in two folds. in two folds. Number one is that, in fact, as a church, we want to preserve our Christian ideals and values and the fulfillment of the provision of the 19th Constitution. Because as the other continuously existing Christian denomination in Ghana, we deem it an obligation, my brother, to support and promote any and everything that promotes Christian values, and we stand up against any and everything that threatens Christian ideals and values. Simple. So that is the position of Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
As it stands now, just for clarity, in 2021, as we speak today, your relationship with your counterpart in the U.S. is still severed. There's no relationship there still.
There's no relationship with them. And let me say that Presbyterian Church of Ghana, we have established a lot of congregations in the United States of America. As I speak to you now, go to a number of states. We have congregations there that belongs to the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. In fact, I listened to your interview with the chairman of the Legal, Constitutional and Parliamentary Affairs, Honorable Kwame Animedu Entry, and he made a point that we have civil relationship with the PCUSA, but our ministers or pastors always travel to America. It was very interesting and very funny because even the question is, will Ghana cut ties with a country that supports LGBTQ plus should in case Parliament pass this bill? The answer is no. So the fact that our ministers travel to, the fact that we have cut ties with PCUSA doesn't suggest that ministers or pastors of the Presbyterian Church of Ghana cannot travel to PCUSA. But Evans, let me also make this point that we find the activities of the LGBTQ plus and others persons and their advocates a threat not only to Christian ideals and values, but inimical to the very existence of the human race. The Bible chiefly teaches that all things are lawful for me, but not all things are helpful. All things are lawful for me, but not all things edify. I mean, that's 1 Corinthians 10:23. It's simple there. So as Christians, we are enjoined by human values and dignified, consistent with the Holy Bible to lead expedient lives.
But Reverend Labi, it's fine to quote the Bible, but is it right to impose your religious beliefs on a secular state like Ghana and seek to turn those religious beliefs into an act, into a law?
Evans, this argument is very interesting. Let me tell you, in Ghana as of now, Ghana is a religious pluralistic nation, whether we like it or not.
Well, the Constitution disagrees with you.
Oh, really? You see, take Christianity, Islam, traditional religion, put these three together, you have about almost 98, 99%, okay? And when you bring them together, they are all religious people.
Yeah, but that tiny minority, so they also have their own rights. Their rights to also live a life that they deems fit beyond the religious considerations that you are advocating.
Very good. Evans, you see, that makes the argument very interesting once again, because now the people, they have shifted from the fact that we have what we call it is an inborn thing now to right. And what is right at all? You see, where one's right ends is where another right begins. We are not saying that they don't have right. Bisexuals or lesbians be allowed in a country like Ghana, where, like I said, almost 99% of the population is religious, inclined. You understand. For instance, somebody asked me this question 3 days ago. So, for instance, you find a homosexual or a lesbian in your church, what will you do? Even an idol. And what Bible says about about same-sex marriage, okay? So the issue is not like Christians or Muslims or religious people. We hate people who are in that act. What we hate is the act.
Okay.
And that is what exactly the Bible speaks against it.
Reverend Labi votes against this bill or speaks against it. They're asking their members to vote against them in the elections that will come in the 2024. Is the Presbyterian Church prepared to be as categorical as that? Do you agree with that position that he expressed?
I completely agree with them. Because look, let me tell you, brother, if you are an MP, a representative of the people, tell me I stand for correction. So if you are an MP, a political party, and we see that you are in support of LGBTQ plus, in fact, some of us as ministers, as pastors, will make sure we campaign against you because what you believe in is completely concerned. So we will campaign against that individual or political party. No two ways about that, my brother.
Thank you very much, Reverend George Labi, speaks for the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. Where do you stand on this conversation? It was tonight, including that story in Kaswa. Share with me also. It's going to be on my journal line pretty shortly, 055 111 1997. News Night in a minute.